So I always think about role models when I was growing up, because obviously I think that's a time when you're very influenced by the people around you. And my mum has always been a big influence in my life. She's also a singer. So I was really proud as a little girl to have my mum be going up on stage and, singing and performing. And she was different to everybody else's mum. So that made me feel like kind of extra proud that she was very special. And not only was she a singer, she also worked during the week. She's worked for the NHS here in the UK. She works as a secretary, but for the health service. So she's always taught me a very strong work ethic. And, I grew up in an area in the UK which is very industrial, very working class. So there wasn't any spare money. She had to work really hard to put food on the table, to be able to give me and my brother anything, that we wanted or needed. And her passion was music. So she was able to do that. And actually in the 80s, you could earn a good living performing music at the weekends. There was lots of live venues you could play around the city. I grew up just outside Liverpool, but she had to work full time in the week as well to be able to sustain family life. So for both of those reasons, the glamour and the hard work, she was a big role model to me. And I think as I've got older, maybe like in my teen years when I discovered Madonna, that was somebody that really inspired me. She kind of embodied everything that I wanted to do. She's a great singer, dancer. Everything she did was very theatrical. I loved her performances, the choreography and just the real creative visual aspect of her work. And what a perfectionist she is as well. That really inspired me. And now as an artist, I'm still very much inspired, sometimes now by younger artists, which is brilliant because I will meet people like Mel or Charli XCX, even Billie Eilish, who's super young. And they talk about the Spice Girls and being a fan of the Spice Girls. And it's like, well, I'm a massive fan of them and their work. So it's kind of like this cycle of inspiration that I love. So I kind of have found myself looking to younger women now for inspiration, including my daughter. My daughter's 11 and she is so sassy. She's like, she knows what she wants. She's full of girl power. And she amazes me. Sometimes I feel like she's taking care of me, which is a lovely thing to have. So I feel very positive about young women and the generations, that are coming after me. I feel like we're leaving these people with a lot of shit to clear up. The world's in a pretty rough state in many ways, but I feel like there's so much kind of knowledge and interest in things like politics and the environment. And I think these kids are kind of, they're pretty prepared for the things we've left, the legacy we have left behind. I think it is. I think with so many areas of society that have, felt suppressed, I don't think that we're there. I don't think that we have achieved what we want or what we need or what we deserve. I think it's an ongoing battle. So of course girl power has evolved and it's different things to different people, but it's still important, and it's lovely to kind of see it as part of vocab in the English language. I see it on t-shirts and notebooks and and it's amazing because it's kind of something I don't think we'd really heard before the 90s, but it's kind of just part of our language now. Yeah, I think because the realization that it is different things to different people, like everything is, we have our own personal experience of things. But when I was younger, I think I was quite like maybe a bit aggressive with it. It was like because I had to shout about it because we had a point to prove, and it was maybe a bit more fierce. But now it feels a bit more like grounded. I just feel like, again, it's a confidence. It's more of a confidence that you have with girl power, because I just, it's a bit more knowing now, because it's like, girls, we got this. Whereas before it's like, listen, we can do this. Now we're like, we got this. No, it doesn't bother me at all. And I think maybe that's because of my age, because I'm clinging onto my youth. But no, I think it's because I think we need to embrace it. You know, that's personally how I feel about it. I completely understand and respect women who don't feel comfortable it being like a female this or a female that. But I want to celebrate it. Absolutely. So I don't see anything negative in it. Wow. Well, you know what? I think it's important to empower women because we have been suppressed for centuries. You know, this is the ongoing battle to really be able to do what you want to do without these obstacles being in the way. I've been so lucky, obviously, you know, working in music, having the success with the Spice Girls, and to go on and work as a solo artist. And I work with so many men. I have all my band are male, you know, all of the crew I travel with are male. In the studio, I work with lots of male songwriters, producers, engineers, and I do seek out to work with more women in those roles. And over the years, I have begun to work with more, but there's still a huge difference, you know. And I think looking at labels, you know, kind of looking behind the scenes to the less creative roles within the music industry, it's still very male dominated. Management, labels, publishing, you know, all of those worlds. Yes, there are amazing, incredible women doing great things in those fields, but it's mostly dudes. So it's something we just keep having to fight for. And I think, you know, personally for me, I grew up being, I don't know, maybe my personality is, I'm quite vulnerable. And I think a lot of artists are. And so I think it's really important to empower women, you know, the really strong, outspoken ones, to the really quiet women who still have dreams, but may not have the courage to go out there and to get the things that they deserve. All the way, baby. I think, you know, right now, the thing I'm thinking about a lot, you know, my daughter is 11, so we're getting close to those teenage years, and she has her self-esteem is good, you know, and I see social media creeping in, and, you know, the changes with like her friendship groups and like boys come around the scene and all of this. And it just fills me with fear, because I just think it's so important to maintain that, you know, that good self-esteem that hopefully all children are born with, you know. I know there are some children who are very vulnerable out there. A lot of it is sadly because of their circumstances, but you know, we have to nurture these children to be so proud of who they are, and to value themselves and to respect themselves. And yeah, that's kind of where a lot of my thoughts and energy are going right now. It is really about self-respect and about, you know, really valuing who you are as a person. Yeah, and I say it to myself, because I think I, you know, in my younger years didn't, you know, there has been times when I haven't respected myself in the way that I should, or I haven't valued, you know, myself. So I'm so determined for her to maintain that. And right now she's doing pretty good. You feel alive. Yeah, I totally feel that. You know, sometimes I work in schools, you know, I'll go, and I've been to some girls' schools around London, and just talking about, you know, different things, and they astound me. You know, they're so eloquent, you know, so many of these girls, they're really, you know, they're really thoughtful and strong, and it does, yeah, it fills me with confidence for the future. Hold on tight with all your might. I absolutely believe, I mean, 16 for me, those kind of middle teenage years are the really, really tricky ones. And yeah, it would just be, you must respect yourself, otherwise you can't expect anybody to respect you. And that, yeah, that's the thing I wish I'd have been able to tell myself at that time. I think I probably feel the most normal when I am snuggled up on the sofa with my little girl, and like we're watching one of our favorite TV shows or a movie or something. That's my most normal. That's like a little happy place. Absolutely. And then, you know, on the extreme other side of that, the other life, the other world I inhabit is being on stage. You know, when you're in the zone and you are performing and you have that connection with an audience, and it's so magical, and that feels incredibly special. We continue to overcome adversity and become more powerful every day. That's how it feels, you know. We have to fight. We have to fight hard for the things that we want, and we're getting better and better at doing it. So yeah, onwards and upwards for females. You know, the only thing I would like to add is, you know, I know, you know, the community that you guys have out there, of course, girls are awesome, but you are great supporters of the LGBTQ plus community as well. And I just feel like, you know, this year has, as we spoke about very early in our conversation, has been so difficult. And I don't think anybody has got through this without some moments of real pain, you know, and fear about the future. And, you know, I just really feel like we're in this together. And even though we're quite isolated right now, I kind of feel like there's this support. Thank goodness for technology and, you know, for social media platforms to be used in a very positive way. So I just want to reach out and say to people that, yeah, you're so not alone in this. So many people are feeling very similar feelings, and it will be 2021 soon, really soon. And let's hope that we can all get together and party and enjoy life as it should be. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, and keep up the good work. Girls are awesome.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
See you soon. Bye-bye. Take care.